Oh, where am I? It's not good. I found myself by streaming every day since Christmas. How's it going, everybody? 8 o'clock on the 21st of April. It's a Monday. Start as we mean to go on. Every time I try to get on early, by the way, I'm cursed. Cursed by side quests. But we always make it in the end. How's it going, everybody? Hello, Fernicar. Hello to everybody in the chat. If you're watching live or you're watching later, don't forget that you can join the Discord. The join link's in the description. And we got a lot of cool stuff to look at today. I got 3 releases for you guys. There will be new style tutorials arriving, and they're going to get a little bit longer as well, because I'm kind of still playing with the new format. I haven't decided how many times I'm going to jump back in and stuff, how long it's going to be. To be honest, right, I wanted to see how short it was going to be. You know, I was like, I wonder how short I can make this with an intro and an outro. And the joke is, it was like 3-4 minutes. I thought it was 7. So I think this format's actually real nice, because I can deliver the goods, get in and get out, and not waste everyone's time. We got a live stream for wasting time, hey? So, hello everybody, this is Scuffed Epoch, I'm Drift Johnson. If this is your first time here, we got hundreds of these, and like I said, episode 300 came out the other day. What a blast. And now I got this new, I'm like invigorated again because it's a new format and I get to mess around. Yeah, it probably takes about twice as long to make each video at the moment, but that doesn't matter. Alright, now I have got no idea who is watching or what today. So I'm just going to assume that everybody's here. So thank you all for joining. So the first thing I want to check out is Text Engine. Now, Text Engine is going to develop a lot, alright? Hey, how's the music, guys? Is it too loud? Give me a mic check. Give me a mic check. Maybe the mic's too far away. Hello. How are we all feeling? This is a smooth Monday live stream. Okay. So we're going to keep this brief. Text Engine loads from a directory, so you can pick the number, preview. It'll show us what we've got to work with. Did it even change? Hang on. Oh, my bad. It's still making a video, so we got to wait. I'll just explain it for now. We've got our project name, as always. We've got image size adjuster, so it automatically scales to SDXL, so you don't have to worry about what size is it and all that. It'll automatically switch between tall and wide. Okay. We've got InspireNet driving the whole process, and why have I got mask opacity 1? That should be 0, shouldn't it? Well, it doesn't matter because I fix it in the end. So what we've done is we've done remove background, but then we've inverted the mask to get the background, okay? And then we're putting text layers over the background, okay? Text layers over the background. At the moment, I've only got top, middle, bottom. The text node I've got is quite basic, so we're going to develop it, make a new one tonight for this, improving this. And then, as you can see, on the final layer, it puts the text on the top. So put it back to, put it back together. Put the last layer on the top. Now, I obviously want to tighten this up because it's just a neat effect, okay? But in the top row, before we have a look at what's next, I've showed you that you can just use any file. Well, not any file, but you can use any old file and it will stretch, or I recommend crop, but it'll stretch and it'll just do the exact same thing. Okay. So it's like a programmatic text thing, and obviously I want to change it because my retro video text, for one, it's meant for video, so it will work with video as well, which is quite nice. We're going to upgrade and make the video version of this in a bit, but the first thing I want to do is actually make a V2 of retro video text, which has a hex code color system. That's number one. Hex code color system and more positions and offsets for maybe a padding option for the screen edge. I don't know, but basically we're going to make this better. At the moment it works fine though, for it works. And then this is to introduce the idea of the companion, which we're going to look at in a minute. I've got my cathode ray node, okay, which is doing static. It's adding noise. You can do a custom expression if you want to have a fluctuation and noise changing over time. I've disabled screen curvature and scan lines because I'm not looking for those effects. I only want the glow, color, bleed and noise, and I've turned it right down because it's very strong. Then we're going to use the interleaved upscaler, which saves a lot of time. We're going to use, I think I'm using 1.5 because these videos or these images are already in SDXL size. So we should be able to just do 1.5 to 1080. But obviously you can put it to up to 4. It's up to you. I use bicubic with Edge 03. But you can use whatever you want. We've got a file path generator, so we're going to get text engine out of this with up swap or up original, which would be the original background. And if I just show you how it works, if we wait, can we do it yet? Yeah, we can. All right, let's keep going. There's got to be an image in here that's different. Oh, he's got a different helmet on. Of course, I'm looking at an in-painting folder where all I was doing was changing the heads. So yeah, if we run that. Oh, I should have changed the background as well. How am I seeing? How am I? It's like I'm hitting the same pictures over and over again. I want to get one with no one in it. Oh, that's interesting. It's an iStock image. Do I not have any? Okay, that'll do. We'll do it over the back of that. And we'll have another one, please. It's very quick. Off it goes. Dum-dum-dum-dum. Nice, nice. And like I said, you can have any text you want, any font you want, because this this custom node uses TTF fonts. So you just put the TTF fonts in the folder. Well, in my DJZ nodes. Do I even have it here? DJZ nodes. It's probably in a folder I closed. It's always the way. But yeah, you create a folder called TTF, and you put any font in there, and then you can just load them. Like I said, I think I've only got Empire in there. Oh no, I've got Imperial Script. Let's change to Imperial Script for the middle one. Let's see what I mean. Oh, and the top one. Yeah, we'll do it for both. So if I change to Imperial Script, run it. And so yeah, like I said, I'm doing a cathode ray effect and upscaling, and then we get to 1440 by 1728. It's a bit too much noise actually, but that is what I'm going for. I'm going for a kind of cooked retro look. Blends in nicely. Got this cursive Empire script. But anyway, needs better controls for the text, needs better positioning controls, all that stuff. But I've already released this workflow. You will find it in DJZ Workflows text engine, and we're going to be adding some more here when we get like the V2 node and various bits and pieces. So like I said, you know, people always want to do, like, say you want to do a t-shirt design. It's very easy to use a text overlay with a font, and then it's the same every time. And then what I'm showing you here is how you can do this whole, you know, in front and behind. Really, I want to get it so the text is like, I can get it to the center area so it's focus, and then we can have a border node make the outside semi-transparent, which will blend onto any color. That's the idea anyway. Better drink some of this coffee. Everything's fine, is it? Oh, that's good. Well, welcome everybody. Like I said, text engine. So this will be my first thing, and we're going to do some coding in a minute just to upgrade the retro video text node, okay? Because I think we can do some improvements, like I say, positioning and a couple of other things. All right, that's that one done. Next, Hoda Hunyuan video frame pack. I've added the companion workflow, and I've made a Vid-Gen companion workflow on its own, because the way that Comfy works, once you've got this, you can click and drag it in below any video generation workflow, or you can just use the load node to load videos you've already made. And I'll show you what I mean. So as you can see up here is frame pack lines unchanged. Yeah. And all I've done is I've connected the project name, which is empty. Oops. I wonder what happened to that. An empty project name. Okay. Oh, don't tell me that's okay. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna have to do an update just to put something there because people won't put save, export. Ah, what a mess. Anyway, point is, make your video. So there's the video doing its thing. And then we get Vid-Gen Companion, which is tagged on the end. Now, obviously, here's the video loader bit, because the standalone version, which looks like this, doesn't have anything up there. Oh, yeah, and look at that. I forgot to hook it up. Genius. Now I've got to save this one, too. Save. Export. I'll fix them in a sec. But, yeah, the idea is very simple. Load video, cathode ray. Now, you could use any video effect node here, or just disable it if all you want is the upscaling and interpolation. It's going to put one frame preview out here before it's done the whole thing so that you can see if you messed up on the effects and stop it. Obviously I'm assuming everything's fine, so we look at video interlaced upscaler V2. It's on 2x because generally these videos are from 640, so it'll go 640 up to 1280 on 2x, I think. Okay, I'm going to do 0.3 edge with advanced bicubic bob. Other than that, it's just 2.0. Now, because this has a default for 1280 by 720, it being a trick to exploit 1080i, I use get image size. Mind you, hang on a sec. Wouldn't that do it on the whole batch? I'm going to do it like this just to be sure that I haven't been silly there. It should be safer. We're going to do Rife 49 and we're going to double the frames, and that will give us a 60 FPS frame count. So, right, looks like I need to save that and export it again and go back to the other one. I don't need to do that. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the one thing I thought maybe you should change. Save that again. I only just made these today. Okay, 60 FPS. So it should be coming in at 30 FPS. Okay. Looks like it worked. Look at that. Wow. Do you know how long I've been wanting to make this kind of trippy, not noise? Forever. This is looking great. And as you can see, that is currently coming in at 1152 by 1344. It is very noisy. So what I would probably do is I'd probably take the noise down to 0.2 and let's just go for 4x and see what happens. I will, though, for the sake of time, do it with the other workflow. Like that. It makes no difference. We're just using the last generated video instead of we're using the last generated video instead of waiting for, you know, waiting for FramePack to do its thing. Okay. Because obviously that's why I made it separate. I was like, you could just click and drag, you can copy paste whatever this under your workflow and attach it to any vid generation. It doesn't have to be FramePack. It'll work with WAN, HiVid, anything. So I tried to make it universal. All you do is you just attach the image from the last output and you're good. You will need frame interpolation nodes and you'll need my DJZ nodes. And that's pretty much it, really. I think Rife should auto download, and like I said, it makes it so much smoother, guys. Like, I like this super noisy aesthetic because it reminds me of old TVs. I'll be real, old LCDs, you know, had this snowy effect. I'll admit the RGB is a little bit crazy, but I put that effect on the show all the time, so it's kind of like theming, you know? So anyway, let's run it. Oh, I forgot to put my project name in. Another thing that's missing. Prim. That's alright. It just means I... No! Wrong one. There. Text engine. DJZ. Companion. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, will it be like, I don't know what the height is for every image? Yeah, actually, I think I did this correctly the first time. I just realized it would be like, well, what's the size for the next frame? Or maybe it was fine, I don't know. I'll just put it back to how it was. Save and export. The reason I'm using the same number over and over instead of like changing it is because I plan to upload to GitHub without deleting the file. I'll just overwrite it with the new version. Sneaky. I don't normally do that. I normally just go for the sky and make the number higher and higher and higher. Okay, save it and export it. But to be fair, it's broken, so I just, you know, it's a fix, not an addition. Yeah. All right, cool. So now I need to sort out the file names. Oh no, Copilot's going to photobomb the stream. Oh good, it's wrong TV. It sucks to be you. Okay. If I go up to my downloads folder, what I've got to do is I've got to delete the original that I want to upload, because there'll be a conflict when I remove the bracket number. So let's see. Text engine actually was fine. It's these two. Get the latest version. Okay. And then what am I in right now? Text engine. Let's sort this one out first. This will be the Hoda companion. Upload that. That's a fix. And then the actual standalone companion. That's that one. Fixed. Okay. All right. So yeah, I want to do some upgrades on this node. I think we should improve retro video text to a V2 and add some more text controls. I don't care how big the node gets, to be honest. I might remove the scanline stuff though, because I know it's retro. Wow. Maybe I should just make a dedicated text node that's not retro video, just video text. You can still use it for one image at a time, because it's just batch one instead of batch number. You know, one is still a batch. It's just one. Because I got a suspicion that it's not really doing font size correctly and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I think text would be cool, because you can do easily do branded covers for your own stuff and things like that. We'll do it all in Comfy. But yeah, the Vid-Gen companion itself, let's have a look at the result there. Did we get a result yet? Do I go away from it? Yeah, I gotta do it again. Alright. So we're doing what? 4x, 2x, 2x. I did want to see what 4x looks like. How long does it take? So we'll do 2x first and then max it out to 4x on the next one. And we'll just check what the time is. Let's have a look here. Clearing cache. 578. Okay, so it's technically done. 111 seconds it took on the last run. So let's see if it's the same. These should be hot times. Okay. It's taking its time, actually. .576 by 672. I suppose I did the upscale before the inter you know, because I figured upscaling interpolated frames, it'd be better to upscale the genuine frames and then interpolate. Even though it's slower to interpolate the larger size, it's not really that much bigger. It's only normal for what we usually work with. Interesting. I haven't actually seen how this one comes out yet. So we're up to 1152 by 1344. That's at 2x. And how long does it take? 111 seconds, so it's consistent. Okay, 1152. Remember this light patch where he's moving, that was actually present in the original video. Done a pretty good job of blending it though. So yeah, it is fuzzy, but that was me, I did that. I made it fuzzy and RGB edges as part of the effect. And the noise pattern itself, it has a pattern and it can fluctuate. It's designed to look like old TV. And like I said, you can control everything, the glow amount, the color bleeding. In fact, didn't I turn the noise down just now? It must have been on the other one. Ah well. There's also presets for the changing noise over time. It's got fluctuating and degraded built in. And if you choose custom, you can have a math expression which you can customize. If you don't know how to write them, use an LLM. Right, now I think I need to stop moving the screen around here because it's doing a 4x for us. Or it's thinking about it. So that'll take us to 22 by 26. So that's going to be pretty big. And I don't think, is there any... I don't think I'm using any tiling. So this will be maybe too much. I think I do actually have interlaced. Do I have one that has tiling? That's not me. Oh wait, yeah it is. I know what my nodes are. They're all mine. I'm like, that's not mine. Okay, so the GAN interlaced does have tiling, but it's slower, obviously, because it's got tiling. But it does have tiling. I generally use a 1x refiner upscale on this one. Or, well, you can use an RESR GAN model with this one. The rest, I think this one is fastest, but it doesn't really have tiling support. Enable motion compensation. Damn, I don't even remember making this one. Batch size. Wow, you got a batch size 4 with that one? You'd think that would be faster then. And then precision, half or full. What the heck? Oh, right. It's my attempt to make it faster. I think it ended up being slower, though, if I'm being completely honest. It's like the ironies of the experimentations, you know what I mean? Still there, though, if you want to check it out. The interleaved, yeah. Did we run out of memory? Yeah, we ran out of memory. The interleaved ones are for images. Interleaved are for stills. So you got one that works with GAN and one that doesn't. And to be honest, I think this one might be... No, wait. One of them is slow. I think the first one I did is slow because I was learning how to do it or something. I forget. It's all in the notes. Every single node has its own README file. I am wondering about this though. Fast. I wonder if we could use this one to do our 4x. So we got fastest. I bet the quality will be trash. Let's try it out. Width, height. I got batch 4. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. And then we got precision half or full. I'm going to say half precision. I don't even know what. I don't even remember. We made so much stuff so fast. I don't remember. I'd have to go and read the readme. I'm glad I wrote the readmes, to be honest, because otherwise I... So we'll just disable this one for a second and see if we can get away with doing it this one. If we can't, then I'll try and break out the tiling and see if that does it. So yeah, there's 2 ways to use Vid-Gen Companion. And it's just a workflow with interpolation, upscaling, and special effects, post effects like noise. I got a whole collection of these, probably like 30 or 40 nodes that just do various effects. Oh, node, look at my mouse. He's struggling. I think we're going to again. Go on. Thing is, even if it manages to do it, it's got to run the rife afterwards. So I think it might be best in this case to actually do the rife. Yeah. Hold up. Stop. So sorry. I'm sorry. I instantly regret my decision. Ah! Yeah, it's having a bit of trouble with this one. We might have to kill it. Oh wait, no, it's okay. We're back. So yeah, no, you need like super memory. See, the thing is, Comfy doesn't care how much memory you have sometimes. He's built for the cloud. If I put it on quality, I probably can't handle batch size 4. I could try batch size 1, but then that defeats the point of this. Well, I suppose it doesn't actually. We'll try it. But I'm gonna do this first. So let's just mix things up a little bit. So we're going to go from here to here, and then from here to here, and then here to there. So just a quick reordering of the 2 things. I figure it's more frames to upscale, but maybe at batch 1 it can handle it. But there's no point trying to make 4K and then run it through Rife. I just thought it'll when you get to there, but we can do the Rife on the low res, so I'll just change the order. I think you get better quality the other way around at 2K or 1K to 2K, but at 2K probably turn it round, probably change the order round for like 2 to 4K and up, because otherwise it's like, I don't think Rife can do images that big. And if it can, it takes an unreasonable amount of memory to do it. So get the Rife done, and then we'll see if this blows up. If it does blow up, then we'll try one of my other ones. Upscaler. We'll try that one which did have tiling support. Where was it? That one. Thing is, it takes a model. I wonder if... I can't remember if it default. I'm going to find out. We're going to find out if it falls back to using we'll find out if it falls back to using like no GAN, or if it has to have a GAN. I can't remember if it has to be hooked up. Yeah, we'll put that one in there, that one in there. It's a bit of a weird setup there. Let's just sort that out. There we go. Right. I usually go with edge. What the? 0.3 is what I usually go with. There we go. Now, tile overlap. I generally go for 768 because it's a nice trade-off for memory and speed between 512 and 1024. We are going for 4K though, aren't we? Yeah, I think we are. Wait, no we're not. Wait, right. Now I remember. The multiplier for this is determined by the model you plug into it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something's rumbling. I think I broke it. Yeah, the mouse. We're not responding. Help? Yeah, we broke it. Oof. So yeah, that's not a good combo. Come on, mate. I wish there was a hotkey for this. Maybe I can set up a hotkey to cancel the generation. That'd be so useful. If there is one, I'm not aware of what it is. It's probably like the only combo I ever will need. Come on. Oof. See, the CPU is getting interrupted, so you can't click the button. Yikes. See, what's happening is it's trying to put the interpolated frame sequence into the upscaler, and it's dying. Why? Why you do this? So, whoa, okay. I'm gonna sort of glitch my way over to the bottom left corner, and then pray that it listens to me. Doesn't. Oh. Come on. Cooked. Can't even cancel it, mate. Right, Control C. Lots of times. Here we go, ladies and gents. She's frozen up. Well, while we're waiting for it to reappear, I hope you're all having a great evening. Oh, it's been interrupted, has it? I'm still not in control of the computer, though. See? Oh, that's a lot of errors. Come on, mate. Whoa. We're just trying to do too much, you know? That's all it is. A lot of the time what I do is I break up the video into smaller bits to get around this. So it's actually quite easy to do. There's a meta batch right there that's built in. So, however, the computer is completely locked up right now. Right. I think you've had enough time. In a minute, it will be restart time because she is just glitched out. Look at that. I clicked on that 5 minutes ago. Come on. Wake up. Yes. Y, enter. Oh, Control C, Control C. I don't think it ever even listened to me. See, I always thought, wouldn't it be good if there was a reserve on your computer's memory so that this didn't happen? But there isn't. Oh well. Oh wow, Control-Alt-Delete is appearing. That was like 5 minutes ago as well. Come on, Windows. It's spinning its wheels, guys. It's preparing my security options for me. I don't even want them no more. The problem's actually resolved itself by the time this thing has decided to kick in. Come on! What are you doing? Okay, so we're cooked. Whoa! And it's still not actually killed it. Look, the problem is Comfy doesn't even shut when you tell it to shut. It's terrible, mate. Finally, it died. Okay, so let's just address why this happens, because I don't even need it to be switched on. So this right here is what we call the VHS meta batch. And what we can do is we can plug this into the saves. Like I could put it in that one there. should be able to put it in this one as well. Why is it being nut stained? There we go. The only catch is it has to divide. So if the number of frames you have, 288 in this case, doesn't divide, come on Windows, wake up. Sleeping on the job again. So at the moment you can see that the number of frames in the video is 288. So 288 divided by 16 is 18. It goes nicely. Yeah? For once. So actually we could run it at 16. But if we wanted to make it less chunks, we could do it at 32. So again, 288 divided by 32. So you could get away with that. But if I'm thinking about this right, you won't get away with 64 because it's a fraction and it's got to be a whole number. Oh, I'm in the way. My ass was blocking the numbers. So yeah, it matters. Do you know what I mean? And you can get around this actually. So say 280. I don't know why I picked 280. It's probably a bit arbitrary, but the point is, by taking the 8 off the end, it makes it potentially easier to divide. So I don't know. Could we do it in? Couldn't do it in hundreds. Couldn't do it in 80s. Could do it in 60s maybe. Divide it by 60. No. Could do it by 30. No. Okay, 10 times 30. 300. I need to get. See, that's too much. This is the issue. So like I said, what I'll probably do is I'll just say 32 because we know that's safe, and then I'll restart comfy somewhere. Comfy. Right. And back in we go. I think the 4090s had time to think about it. But yeah, like I said, I was trying to see how much we could get away with here. Turns out you're going to have to break it up. And I think breaking it up into 32 is okay. It's going to be okay. It'll render every frame. Let's see. How many is that going to be? 28 is... well, we worked it out. It's 18, wasn't it? So it'll do 18 small batches of this job. And then it will put them all together at the end for you. So... But like I said, the one catch, which is why I don't put this in my workflows by default anymore. I put it in a couple of examples to show it off. But the reason I haven't explained it is because if you get that number wrong, if it doesn't divide, you kind of, what can happen is it does like 12 batches, and then the 13th batch was like not complete, and then it fails, and then you don't get the. And I was like, well, that's a bit suck. So you have to get it to be an exact divisor of the number, and obviously you can set a cap. So what I was trying to show you was like, if you cap it to 250, for example, which is quite a lot, I wouldn't cap it that much, but if you cap it to 250, you can do it in 5 batches of 50 frames. 50 frames is fine. Do you know what I mean? We do 64, but because I usually batch 150 at a time, so 288 is too much, and then when we're putting it through the Rife, that's going to become what, nearly 600. So when I'm used to breaking it up, it should be done in 4 batches anyway. So the fact that it's blowing up is like normal, actually. Okay, so we'll give it a second to realize it's still alive. It's still alive. Okay. Do. Refresh, reload. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the universe. Yep, it did. I wonder which workflow did we lost? We lost the workflow with. We lost the main workflow. We've only got the standalone one left with the loader. Okay, all right. So we've added that on there. Let's save it. At least it didn't change. At least it didn't lose all of the changes. So this is actually going to be V40, and it's going to use the batch manager. That's the only difference. Run it. Ah, crap. Stop. Hold up. Ah, yeah, of course. We need to put an upscale model in it. Typically, I'd use the DJPEG Omni SR. Some people say gain res is good. I don't know. To be honest, it's sort of like, let's say we want to use realistic rescaler. That's a blast from the past, an old favorite. Or foolhardy. Let's do 4x foolhardy. Yeah? Should work. And if we're going to go 4x, I will actually do 1024 tiles, which is pretty beefy. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Ah, do you know what? The striping might be the edge enhancement. I never thought about that. Alright, let's give it a run. And like I say, the idea is to give you an easy tool that you can either drop in below your workflow or use a loader, and it's just going to do a simple post effects, which you can pick, or it's going to go, and you can bypass it if you don't want to do that, but I do think it adds a bit of character, and you can customize a chain of like 3 of them to get different effects. I'm using a 4x on the fast with batch 1 half precision. It might just again, we'll see. Oh, it looks like it actually did it. Oh, wait. Still time. So then we're going to do 4x foolhardy with 1024 tiling and compare them. So it actually worked. We got our 4x out of this. So it's 2304, 2688. So yeah, using the meta batch sorted it out. Wait a minute for this last one to come. At the moment, I think that's the old generation. This is the new one. It's like, yeah, it is blurry, but again, I put an effect on here: glow, bleed it, color bleed, and noise. I think it looks pretty realistic, though. To be honest, it just looks like what you used to get from an old SD camera. I'll admit, like, the RGB shift is there for fun. I could just turn that off. Clear Reality, is that a model? Clear Reality is super lightweight for video upscaling, says Dragon. Oh my goodness me. What is happening? How many tiles? Must be a lot of tiles. Okay, right. Well, while it's doing this, it's time to upgrade that node. I was saying I was going to upgrade that node. Let's do it. So we're going to need DJZ nodes. We're going to close down the last lot we were looking at. And we're going to go to retro. Go past it. What the hell? There it is. Okay. Okay, right. Come on, Claude. Okay. We can create a new custom node for Comfy. I can spell Comfy UI. Named video text. Just video text. Video text. .py. This will be directly based on retro video text.py with the following changes. Scan lines feature is removed. Additional text position, offset, and padding. Options added. Any other enhancement for typeface control. Hex code based text color system outline width in pixels and outline color. Yeah, that should be pretty good. The output formatting and the /ttf source folder for loading true type fonts remains unchanged. Alright, I think that's pretty good. I'm in camo right now. I need to get rid of this preview. I'm blending in, guys. Alright, calm down. Bloody hell. Let me see what the thing is. Okay. Load font, add scan lines. We need to remove, add text effects. More positioning options, XY offset, padding, line spacing, letter spacing, hex colors, outline width and colors. Okay, I think he's got it. So let's just see what he's written. So we get font, position, all of the corners and the middles. Okay, that's not bad. And then we get X offsets, padding, font size, line spacing, letter spacing, text color, glow radius, outline color, chromatic, and then text alignment as well. That's quite nice. And then obviously, yeah. It wants a hex code. Outline color must be hex code, Yeah, this is looking much nicer. What? Fall back to system fonts. Ugh. Don't like that. That looks like a great way to break everything. How about you just load them from my folder, or you throw an error? How about that? Crazy AI. Trying to fall back to like Mac files? That's crazy. Hey, look, if it works, fair enough, but it seems a bit hacky to me. What do I know? But no, that's normal, Johnson. All right. You got me. I've never tried to support Linux, Mac, and Windows in one script before, so I always try to be like, it works on Windows and it should work on Linux. And I don't know about Mac, I ain't got one. So, you know, I figure if I can't test it, how do I know? I don't know. I ain't got one. Anyway. So let's just take a save on that one there. And then obviously we're going to want to add that one in. So we'll just go into my DJZ notes. We'll take the node with the illegal file name and all. We'll call it underscore video. Well, I could just say video text like that. Video text. Okay. And then in order to make it actually work, we'll scroll down. Add it to the list. We can close that now, and then we need to find a video text. There it is. And video text is simply video text. Whoops. Is that it? Okay. Let's see if it works. Of course, can't restart it yet because we're doing that now. But that's okay because I got 8 minutes. I'm ahead of schedule, guys. Can you believe it? Ahead of schedule for once. So yeah, in the 8 minutes, I'll explain what I'm talking about. So obviously these workflows are already out, right? So we're doing like experiment. This is an experiment to compare my approach, which was finished like, oh my god, how long ago was this file made? Hang on, I just need to be, let's be honest about this because look, it's still going, dudes. You want to do it with the 4X, full hardy remicry with the GANs and the tiling? It's still going. It's still going. It's still going. It hasn't done it yet. This guy finished the race ages ago. And it better be... Do you really think it's going to be better? Like, how much better is it going to be? Is it going to be better, like, so much better that it's worth all of this wait? I don't know. It looks like it's going to be a while, guys. Does it not even give... It doesn't even give me a time estimate either. It might crash. It might crash. So let's just have a look at when this file was made so I got like a rough clue of what's going on here real quick. So get back to Comfy, back to the outputs, we go to the Vid-Gen, we go to the companion. 30 megabytes. 1152 by 1354. So I don't think that's it. Hang on. It's yeah. Right. Nope, I can't find it. Where did I save it? Vid-Gen companion, DJZ companion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it hasn't saved the file yet. Okay, well, I'll take it back. But that was like half an hour ago. It's got a 0 bytes one here, but I think that's this one. Right, do you know what? Let's just save that preview and find out. Is he lying to me about the size of the image? It says here 2304 2688. So I'm guessing that it's just not finished yet. Okay, I'll be quiet then. I thought this one had finished, guys. I'm wrong. Disregard. So what was that one then? 1221. Ah, that would have been the 2X. Alright, well I'm just going to leave this one to run because, like I said, I've explained everything I needed to explain. So, yeah, the new workflows that were out, they're all up there. Text engine, like I said, we're working on that. So it would be nice if I could test the new node, but I've got something else to start on. So, right then. I'm going to do coffee time 4 minutes early because, I don't know. I need coffee now. Not in 4 minutes. time to collect some white guys. I've been doing a lot of shooting, and they're all over the place. I need to collect them. But before we do that, we're going to have a little bit of fun for the Monday Night Riders session. We're going to create a fantasy world. It's going to be quite funny anyway. I want to make it a funny fantasy world. But we haven't done comedy, and Joe Rogan said AI can't do comedy. So let's have a little poke, shall we? I think a great image to try and echo would be Terry Pratchett, Douglas Adams, but then you have to mix it up with something like fantastical. So I don't know, C.S. Lewis? Don't know, it might be too straight. I'm going to keep it light, and we're back. So yeah, this is going to keep going. I'm not quite sure why. The horrible thing is, we've got meta batch in, so it really shouldn't. It should be doing small bits. It might be that this is just such a big job, and it's just a really bad way of doing it. But like I say, I usually do 2x or 1.5 or 2.0, and it's very, very fast. You get diminishing returns, and that's part of the reason that I show this stuff off. Because if you ask for too much, it's like 4 times to 8 times the normal speed, the normal amount of time it takes. So, Kenny Everett. Who's Kenny Everett? Not heard of that one. Give me a sec. Kenny Everett. The most creative British broadcaster of all time. Wow. Zany comedic style. Pirate radio. Okay, I'm into it. He seems like a Proto-Python character. 1944 to 1995. Damn, okay. Alright. Well, explore, let's go spelunking, shall we? What can you tell me about... This is a probe, by the way. We're going to probe what he knows. What can you tell me about Douglas Adams, Terry Pratchett, and I hope I spelt that right. I probably did. And Kenny Everett. And we should really get some more capital letters in here. These are some really, really influential originators. Okay, I think, and it's Everett. Okay, what can you tell me about, because what we're doing right now is we're going to probe what the model knows. Because if he already knows, I don't need to tell him. I can just invoke it like a trigger, right? But I don't want to steal or distill, or, well, maybe distill, but we're going to distill structure and cadence, not content, which is the important thing. I don't want to steal his content. It's not what I'm into. Okay, so we got Terry Pratchett for that strong fantasy vibe. We got Douglas Adams because contemporary humour. This is all contemporary humour for the period. And Kenny Everett, radio DJ. Kenny Everett show. Cupid stunt, huh? Ah, that's good. He got that on TV. Cupid stunt. Okay, well, he was also known for his friendship with Freddie Mercury and died from AIDS. Oh. Well, you know, you fly close to the sun, you know. All right, so let's just recycle this. Okay. New chat. I said new chat. New chat. There we go. We're going to go deep thinking mode. I'm going to give him what he gave me, right? Give him what he gave me. And then say at the top, write a detailed report on these iconic writers from the perspective of defining a ghost writing style for a satirical fantasy genre. Yes, I think that's it. We should not include any story elements, plot themes, or quotes directly from these authors. Rather, we should study the cadence and structure of the styles to, there's a word, create a wholly new and authentic style which aims to it's not simulate, it's not provide, which aims to emulate. It's like a tribute act. Rather, we should study the cadence structure, and rhythm. The cadence structure and rhythm of the styles to create a wholly new and authentic style which aims to emulate all three. So now we're trying to do a juggling trick. We're trying to juggle. This should be very interesting. With Pratchett and Kenny, this is going to be utterly mental. Good. Conversational casual tone. Structure, frequently used unexpected narrative shifts. This is going to be great. Oh. Snap pack with sharp deadpan conclusions. Clause-heavy sentences that spiral outward increasingly in absurd directions. Oh man, I'm getting excited about what this is going to do. Open with a seemingly straightforward exposition, build through increasingly convoluted middle sections, conclude with either understated punchline or an abrupt contextual shift. Oh, that's got character. Tonal modulation, narrative distance. This is so crazy, the amount of stuff that we got in here. Let's see if he can juggle it all. The rule of cosmic threes. Anticlimax engineering, mundane to the point of absurdity. Completely unrelated to the setup. This is good. This is all good stuff. Avoid standard tags like said and replied in favor of increasingly inappropriate verbs that suggest impossible ways of speaking. Geometrically arranged. He geometrically arranged his speech. Awesome. Alright, we'll copy that. Let's begin. So obviously we start off like we start always, with a brand new project in a new folder. Let's see, what will we call it? I'm going to call it Tower of Power. which will just be Power Tower. No, you can't call it Tower of Power. God damn it. It's just a big tower. I'm just going to call it Tower. One word. All right. Let's go. We're going to say Tower. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, yeah. Tower OG Law. OG Law, right? And I need to give it a file name. .text. Okay, let's paste all of that in there. Okay. So this isn't law. This is a writing style. We're not at the law yet. My bad. Writing style. So this will be Tower Ghost. Okay, cool. So that's a module that will go in. All right, cool. So now we need to define the world. We need to work on a law book, basically. So, okay. Lawbook.text. Doesn't have a name yet because it's a proto, right? So, this is going to be a fantasy world because everyone was asking for it. So, you know, this is why we're going to be merging a bunch of authors to help us ghostwrite. But essentially, this will be a tribute if it comes out good. So, I'm going to say, in a world where wizards send adventurers to raid towers owned by sorcerers. Yeah. Groups of adventurers of various races and classes in a fantastical setting. Team up to heist the sorcerer. Heist the sorcerer's tower. We're trying to make it cliche here, guys, okay? Not being funny. Well, no, yeah, being funny, I guess. In a world where it could occur, right? The setting is mostly peaceful and picturesque as most fantasy settings involving, come on, involving, oh my god, mate, involving magic. Turning on its heel in an instant. No. I'll just say that at night time they come out mostly. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. At night time, the monsters come out. ... mostly. Yes, I know it's an alien reference. It'll know that. It's fine. Okay. Wizards need stolen relics returned and are willing to pay. Adventurers form a party and sneak inside the tower of avoiding traps and fighting low-level monsters. Hoping not to attract the attention of the sorcerer that owns the tower. Okay. Form a party. It's just like generic stuff here. I'm not like trying to reinvent the wheel or anything here. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, I was going to say that sorcerers have a tower. You know what I mean? There is a different sorcerer, different tower. And, you know, it's at the middle of their territory, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Sorcerers maintain towers in the center of their area of territory. Yeah, I would say that the danger and difficulty increases every level. The team, the team of adventurers climbs, you know, reaches, escalates with the level. Yeah, it's like, it's on the nose, isn't it? It's like, what's the danger level? It gets more as you go up the tower. You could even say as it goes down, but hey, book 2, it's a dungeon. Oh, now it gets dangerous when you go down. And then you'll have a labyrinth in book 3. Then it gets more dangerous as you go in around it. Sorcerers maintain towers in the center of their area of territory. Danger increases as they advance up the tower. Okay. I'm just trying to build out a bigger world here, you know? Typical classes include mage, healer, rogue, orc, no goblins though, they're evil. Let's see, mage, healer, rogue, orc, warrior. I'm not going to like try to list every single type. I'm just going to give it enough to form the characters, because we're going to be extracting from the lore book our little team of warriors in a minute. I think I just need to dose this up a little bit. I know how to dose it up. I'll refer to the ghostwriting style. So I'll say use the tower ghost writing dot text style to imagine and describe this new world. Okay. I'm trying to do it like, because normally I'd have like a really long chat with the AI, but I'm going to see if we can get it to do it just with that. It might work. So we go back to thing, and you know what? I've already got it written here. Nah, we're going to do a new chat. We'll do a new chat so it's like predictable, you know? Yeah, so where's the folder that I need to copy the file? Come on, it's not open. Of course it's not open, I should have known. So yeah, tools, tower, ghostwriting. There. And I'll say extended thinking, and I'll go use the to think hard as you imagine and describe this new world in a document named Tower lorebook.md. Alright. And we're slowly getting closer and closer and closer. Maybe when you get to the top of the tower, it leads to another universe, says Full Dive Media. That's an interesting idea. Dragon says, pretty sure that's a Greek myth. Let me check my Homer compilation. That's right. Look at that, loads of towers. They're everywhere. The wizards studied for their powers. The sorcerers were born with their powers. Interesting. Okay, so you've got to learn to be a wizard, but you just are born with magic if you're a sorcerer. It's decided. Vertically integrated hazard system. What the hell? It's given us D equals F times L squared plus M divided by CS, so that's common sense. Typically approaching 0. This is actually quite funny already. That formula's so silly. Look, danger is flashiness of magical, so flashiness of magic times the tower level squared plus the number of monsters divided by your common sense. That's actually funny. It's already doing it. Look at, wait. The ground floor typically presents a welcoming facade of reasonable security measures. Conventional locks, sleepy guards with poor peripheral vision, and perhaps the occasional animated armor that creaks loudly enough to announce its presence from 3 rooms away. These token deterrents serve as actual protection, and more as a way for sorcerers to later claim, well, I did try to keep people out when filing insurance claims. This is... It's already performing. It's already performing, guys. That's awesome. The adventuring profession. Warriors. Warriors are individuals who have taken the concept of hitting things until they stop moving and elevated it to a lifestyle choice. They typically serve as the party's frontline mobile wall, equipped with more metal than the average smithy and possessing pain receptors that operate on a significant delay. Warriors come in 2 varieties. Those who understand the concepts of tactics, and those who believe screaming loudly while charging constitutes a battle plan. This is not bad. Considering this is dry, it's not even trying to be funny right now. This is just how it writes. Okay. Wolves, look at this. Wolves that are just wolves. No magic, they're just wolves. It's brilliant. The first nocturnal entity, it's just a wolf. Animated skeletons that do choreographed dance numbers when they think no one's watching. Where's that meme? I need the meme of the bony man dance, the bony dance. This is funny. It's already pretty good. So it gets a bit out of control though. Look, when you get to level 10, there's tax collectors. What? Alright, we're going to copy that and put it in the project. So yeah, we're having a good time. So yeah, tower, lawbook.md, paste it in, save it up. Now, I did change the prompt, so I am going to update the prompt. That's why I have not saved that yet. Paste that, save it, there we go. So now we've got our law book. What are next, right? Well, what are next is I could probably just grab the prompts from the previous project real quick, but you could clone them from the narrative spittoon and just copy that folder. Do the same thing. Me personally, I'm just going to run in here and see what we got. So let's see. There, OG. There's the plan for the last book. So law book prompt, we've done that. So yeah, so it's an OG prompts, and we got to do artifact builder. So I will drag that in, and then I will drag the artifacts in as well. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. Right. So the artifact builder will distill the information from Tower Lawbook. .md. Okay. Okay. And now I want to give it a little bit more information about what I want. So we should create a balanced we should create a balanced selection. We should create a balanced selection of characters who are the featured, well, who are the team. They are the adventurers. I mean, they are the band of adventurers who the story is centered around. Yes. Or I'll say whose exploits the story is centered around. Selection of characters. Yes. And then I'm also going to inject the thing again as well. Use the, what's it called? Tower ghostwriting.md.text. While processing this task. I want to give everything a flavor. And I think this will work. So let's just make sure everything's actually correct. Yeah, that's good. And then this didn't work. So now that's sorted. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and get him to give us the world, the characters, and the speech styles for each character. And technically it's already defined. Everything follows everything by association, like multi-dimensional convergence. It's hard to explain, but it does make sense. Once you've done this a couple times, you'll be like, oh, it's just loads of stuff happening all at once. So, yep. So for the world are the nature of Spellwick as a magic-saturated land, the tower economy, wizard-sorcerer dynamics, cultural elements, societal structures, historical context that created the environment. For characters, I'll create a balanced adventuring party by developing characters from classes mentioned: warriors, mages, healers, rogues, orcs, adding unique backgrounds, personality, motivations, ensuring diversity in age, race, and perspective, building in quirks and flaws, make them memorable, apply the linguistic patterns from Ghostwriting Guide, craft unique speech patterns reflecting their background. It's all related. Okay, now at this point, this is where you can put yourself in. If this is like, right now I'm spinning the wheels for the demo, you know? But the point I'm trying to make is if this is where you say, they're called, this is his name, and this is where he's from, and this is... So you can go in and change whatever you want right now, like a puppeteer. You can puppeteer everything right now, right here. If I was to say, the leader is a purple-skinned orc, if I was to come and say that there, it will be. Okay? So I just want you to know that. I don't often show that part because it's like that's the bit that you customize. That's the bit that makes it more your story. And there's loads of points where you get to do that. Loads of them. Oh yeah, act please. Some good coffee. Okay. Wizards, sorcerers, dichotomy, tower raiding. It's turning into an isekai real fast, okay? But I'm not trying to write an anime here. I'm trying to write some kind of satirical fantasy. Which is basically an anime, but just not anime. I'm not trying to write anime, okay? The joke is we'll probably illustrate it with anime, though. If I'm being real, it's sort of like... We joked about it, and now I'm like, let's do it. You know? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Because tomorrow I'll do something else anyway. Oh yeah, speaking of which, suggestions in the chat, what genre we're going to hit next. Because it's like, that's what we do in Writers Club. We pick something, and we roll with it. I was actually thinking about doing like a... like some kind of like speed racer thing. Like a death race or something. But I like cars too much, so it's too self-serving. I'd rather take a suggestion from the chat so I don't get carried away. You just never hear from me again because I'm writing book 50 of Race War. It's about cars. Calm down, you know? But it'd probably sell because people wouldn't know what it was or something. Anyway, the best race, by the way, for the record, the best race is World Rally Championship. I know I like drift cars, but I do like drift cars. But World Rally Championship is unbelievable. So anyway, I just wanted to clear it up, you know. Just want to end the race debate now. It's World Rally Championship. I know some people say IndyCar, some people say Formula One, some people say NASCAR. There's all these different. For me, World Rally Championship. 4-wheel drive, off-road, turbocharged, and it's a car that you can just buy. That's cool. Anyway, getting off topic. So let's have a look at this story. I've successfully created 3 artifacts from Tower Lawbook. So we now have a world, we now have characters. We have a 37-year-old human warrior called Broderick Ironheart. We have a 163-year-old high elf mage called Lysandra Vale. We have a halfling rogue who's 42 called Thimble Tack Silverfingers. Do you think he's a thief? Might have to sort these names out. Morganth Bloom. Oh, you can't. Is a human healer. Grok Stonefist is an orc fighter. And then Whisper is a tiefling bard warlock. The enigmatic face with cosmic connections. I don't know what that means. I guess, I don't know. 24 unknown. And then we got speech styles for everyone. Okay. Rally Group B. Yeah, the one they banned because it was too fast and everyone kept dying. Yeah, it was too dangerous. It's like, what are you doing? Was it like turbocharged V10s off-road or something stupid? It was crazy. You need to do a story of a person who freezes his head so he can be reanimated in the future. The people in the future have no need for people in the past as they have skills and do not speak. They have no skills and do not speak. It seems like you've already written the story there. I need a genre. I think you're talking about sci-fi body horror there, but... Louis is suggesting some genres. Crime, political, spy, world domination. Okay, so like we could do a crime, like a heist. But then again, isn't this a heist? Isn't this just a heist with magic? Maybe a spy. We could do a spy thing. I've done agents in the past that can do that. I don't know, though. We'll have to give it a think. But yeah, throw ideas into the comments section. I will be checking out the chat. But anyway, yeah, like I said, so we've got our speech styles. Okay, so now we need to do the extra artifacts. Now, in order for the extra artifacts to work, I have to have actually created a folder, because now we've got enough files to start making our buckets. So I'm going to call it Tower Tour. Got it right the first time and then messed it up. There we go. Tower. And then we're going to put characters, law book. Wait, that's not the law book. That's the law prompt. Law book. Speech styles, world, ghostwriting. Okay, and then we'll make another one called plan, and I'll put the prompts in there, so it's not like, yeah. So then we've got the beginnings of a narrative bucket here. Okay, now in order to get the rest of it, there are a couple of things which do come from Narrative Splatoon. One of them is, let's see, where are they? If I go into Moonbase, holographic tutor is part of the bucket, but that's more of an agent built into it for analysis. But it, yeah. Narrative Splatoon, that one goes in there. That's like the core agent programming. And there's one more which is Ghostwriter style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that file name and I'm going to change ours to that. So Ghostwriter style guide, and that is actually a .md file. There. Okay, and then the last thing is project instructions. Now, I normally use like a template version of that. Let me just see if I can get a template version of it real quick. You can get them off my GitHub. So let me just get it. I'll show you. So if we go to my Mushroom Fleet and then we go to the narrative spittoon inversion Git repo, it's pinned on the front page. We can go into the default narrative bucket. And then I can grab the default project instructions. I can just copy the raw file there, and then I'm going to make a new file called tower project instructions.txt, just like that. Now obviously you can see here this is wrong. It says Westwick everywhere, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say search replace Westwick. In fact, you know what? We're going to have to, we're going to have to sort of, no, actually, I'm not going to do a search replace. Because actually, it'll be cleaner either to show that to the LLM, right? Because some of it's related to the Westwick city. We haven't got any of that stuff yet. So, okay. World is here. So you can get an LLM to do it all, but you can also write it all. So I'm kind of like, I don't really care which way. I don't really care which way. So I'm just going to change these world, copy path, copy relative path, I think it's relative path. Speech styles. In fact, I think there might be an error in here. An error that I fixed later. Ghostwriting speech style. Yeah, ghostwriting speech style. That doesn't make sense. It's just the speech style. Speech style guidance. Yeah. Character. What the heck? I swear I'm developing late stage dyslexia, guys. It's probably the millions of images I've seen pushing all of the knowledge out of my brain. Just slowly. Right. So universe core, technical specs. So we're going to add all of that. Narrative spittoon is there, ghostwriting style is there, but it's actually not called that, so I'm going to have to change the name again. There, that matches. Save that. What? Okay. I mean, alright, now I can do the extra artifacts prompt. So this will be the... Ah, that's... No. I need the original. See, when you start customizing stuff, it's like it doesn't work for everything anymore. So I did my best to give everyone, like, clean example prompts, but they do sometimes need a little bit of tweaking for your... Because look, with draft PDF loaded, you know, like, okay. So let's go in here and say, plan. I think I can do it in the same conversation because we're still building everything, right? So I'll post that in there, and I say, we need mermaid charts to explain in detail this world called... Spellwick. What the heck? What just happened? It just duplicated the word somehow. Alright, spell. Technical JSON files are able to convey life in the magical world of danger and adventure. We need a glossary of terms that are exclusive to the universe, create separate files in text format, and then the other thing was, of course, where's the file gone? Did I close it? I don't remember closing it. There we go. It's open again now. Right. So we will need universe core documentation. Yep. Okay. We need several files to expand and define the universe core documentation, and it's going to come from what we've written. Like, the more that we write, the more it will be under control, the more it's randomized. And that's why I call it emergent story writing, because you let the story emerge on its own. You know, it's not really automatic, but it's close. What's this? Time travel back to the Dark Ages. That's an interesting idea. Time travel's a little bit played out, but I'm not against it. We just did a bit of a time thing. We're talking about rally cars. Good stuff. You forgot the Audi Quattro. And a Subaru. Everyone in the future was dumber than a rock. You're talking about idiocracy, Full Dive. Now, can you see the mistake I've made here? It's not really a mistake because we're in the conversation, but if this was a brand new chat, which it probably should be, okay, so I'm going to say, like, read at lawbook. Okay. Read at project. Why is it? What? Oh, whatever. That's the. I was going to add more there, but I got scammed. I was going to say Lawbook is the wider universe and Tower Project is the world and the characters. That's all I was going to add, like a dash or a short description. But to be honest, I think he's smart enough to figure it out. So we're just going to run with it. Satire the hell out of the current world. Could do. So yeah, he's read. Look at this. He's reading the world. He's reading the characters. He's reading the speech styles. Spellwick World Documentation Plan. So, oh, it's doing exactly what I wanted every time. See, this is what I asked for. I want a couple of files to go in the universe core. I want a couple of files to go as JSON here. I want a couple of flowcharts to go here because I think it doses up the LLM. He likes flowcharts. He likes JSON. It's all good stuff. The Wizard Wimble Wobble Scale and the Amalgamated Federation of Dungeon Entities. This is just gonna let it rip. Just gonna let it cook, guys. Boom. Let's go. Glossary. Because, like I said, you need to have terms that are consistent. It's just like in Battlestar Galactica. You know, when somebody fracked in your coffee, that means something because they use the same word every time, right? What's on the menu? Some flowcharts and some JSONs. That's right. We're letting him cook. And like I say, this is all to build a narrative bucket for a brand new fantasy genre storyline thing. We'll probably write the whole thing right here on this stream tonight. I did all the comfy stuff first. We looked at text engine. We looked at my Vid-Gen companion, which so text that gives you the ability to make posters with cool with words on and stuff. You can do slogans. You can do, it's really cool, multi-layering and stuff. Background replacement. That's cool. Also, it works with video. If we manage to start writing the book, I'll make the video version. But you know, that's in the future right now. Not that far in the future, though, to be fair. But anyway, we looked at the comfy stuff first, and I think we actually left it upscaling. Should we see? Ah, that's unfortunate. It ran out of memory. Ah, well. Well, like I said, we were messing about at this point. This isn't the standard workflow. But I still think it was worth demonstrating this thing. I wonder if I just delete this, will it do this one? Let me try it. I'm crazy. So, original image was 576 by 672 and looks like this. Yeah. Could probably turn the noise down a bit, but I do like it noisy. Oh wait, look at that. It's on 4x and it's actually, what? It says 2304. See, I wasn't mad. So, oh, I know why. It's broken it up into lots of little bits, hasn't it? Hang on, let's have a look. It's doing 64 frames. That's batch 1 of 10. Okay, cool. So it won't actually give us the result until 10 times as long as that. So it's going to take 5 minutes? No, 10 minutes. Probably 10 minutes. Which is a long time, but it'll be 4x. See, it's diminishing returns when you want to do 4x, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's get back to where we were at. So we've created magical taxonomy, we've created adventurer class specs, we've created tower danger formula. Oh, something went wrong now. What's happened here? Let's fix the JSON errors. Oh, he was writing bad JSON. Don't worry, we're not going to run it. It's just a convenient way to organize the data. You don't actually run JSON. There's no script being run to read this. It's just easy for the LLM to consume. Dragon's getting attacked by his cat. And yeah, we definitely need more VRAM NVIDIA. But they've always been stingy with the chips. It's nothing new. Wow. Economic cycle done. Tower layout.mermaid. So these are all flowcharts designed to give the LLM an understanding, a deeper understanding of, you know, and it makes it more consistent, like I say, to understand the layout of the tower. And you can change this. You could make it 100 levels tall. It's just a bit of copy paste. Get in there. And then for anybody saying, oh, you didn't even do anything. If you edited every single one of these pages, you know, to a significant degree, yeah, you did. Like I say, I'm spinning the wheels for the demo, so I'm not going to change nothing. Right? But like I said, I don't know if you remember, at the end of the last stream or the stream before, we were joking about doing a fantasy story, right? Here we are. 2 days later, we're making it real. Because I didn't forget about it. And like I said, there's still plenty of time tonight for us to write the last page and then estimate an adventure in reverse. So yeah, we're going to do it all right here on this show. And if you're watching later, you can skip forward. Isn't that nice? We can't do that. We have to wait for the normal flow of time to pass. Party dynamics mermaid, magic system.json. Oh, a JSON spec for the magic system. Cool. Transmutation, conjuration, abjuration. What the heck is abjuration? Divination, enchantment, illusion. I'm so far as necromancy. Cool. Unconventional magic. Chronothaumaturgical flux. What? Probabilistic manipulation. Yeah. A reality consensus override. Narrative causality. Oh my god. So it was getting into fringe magic there. Sorcerers, healers, battle mathematicians. Yeah, there's a battle mathematician called, and he groks. His battle math is called grokking, which is interesting. Battle math. Look at it go, man. This is what it was doing yesterday when I was eating my pizza. Oh! The Arcanomatic Framework, version 17.3.8, after the regrettable edition 16 incident. What? See, the last time we tried to write this down, there was a disaster. But we tried again, and we managed to get it written down. All right, so I'm going to close all these tabs, because they're probably going to get moved and all that good stuff. Let's just close all this, because the thing is, whenever you do a prompt, it knows what you've got open. It actually includes it. So now we've just created all of this new stuff. Let's just shut all that. And as you can see, check that out. Wow, look at that. Adventurer class, characters, economic cycle, ghostwriting, holographic tutor, magic system, and blah 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 blah. So we need to update this. Ghostwriting.text.md. I need to get rid of the .text. Come on, get it together. Okay, close that. Right, so what I need to do is effectively tell him, this is very simple, update my tower project thing, right? So, plan. We have created many new artifacts in the @tower folder. In the @tower folder, comma. We should update the project @project manifest to include the new files along with a short description. There it is. Contains .md and .text files. Oops. Contains JSON, and then contains mermaid, like that, and any other files missing from the manifest, from the app project manifest, that are found inside tower. So you might think, well, you already said that up there, but you have to do it in full context. You know, you can't just refer to stuff. In fact, and any other is not good. I should say we should we can add any other files missing from instructions manifest that are found inside tower. There it is. Off we go. And this is the last step to make the project work. You know, then the bucket's done. We've built the bucket. Okay. I don't even remember when we started doing this. Probably on the hour-ish, I think, maybe. So we're probably like an hour in, and now we've got everything we need to write as many books as we want with these characters. And I'll show you how we do that next. We basically take a 6-page prompt after creating the here we go. Book 1, last page prompt, 6-page story. So let me just put them in the plans section real quick. I don't know if I'll get away with it. Obviously they'll have to change because they're referencing the wrong book. But it gives you an idea of, you know, the customization. See, like all this stuff I've added in myself. Yeah. Spoilers. Okay, so yeah, that one's not so bad. This is what sets up the book. Okay, cool. So let's see how we're getting on. Oh, we're finished. He's done it. Let's have a look. Ooh, that's tight. Look at that. So now we've got the lore book, the world, the characters. I'm going to say universe here, because I want it to be... Here, I'll explain what I mean. Okay. Hey, it's scribble time. So yeah, basically, just to sort of underscore what we've just done, because we're at a break time now, I can close all of this for a second, and we'll just use this grey space. Okay. So... we started off with an idea, like we normally do. And then we had an LLM convo to turn that into lore. Okay. We then extracted characters, world. Oh yeah, and we also wrote a special ghost writing style, which was also used to influence that and this, and it will be used to do the pages. So the next step is the last page. Okay, and that will be derived from our storybook, or story bucket I call it, narrative bucket, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. And the pages will get written back from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And they're not pages, they're chapters. But does the computer know the difference? Does it matter? It doesn't really. So what that means is you end up with the bucket, which contains all the information about your story. Okay? So we're going to write the last page next. Now obviously any ideas that you have about what's going to take place in this last page, you just include them. Just include them. Okay. So then you'll get book 1 out of this process. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And obviously you can do a lot with that. What I like to do is I like to update the bucket with the, so I take what happens in book 1 and I evolve my characters after having experienced, yeah, and then you can write another page, and then it's book 2, and this just this just keeps going. Evolve it again. And now it's book 3. You see what I'm trying to say? And then the other thing, of course, is that we can take this rich information from the book, because, you know, books are full of, there's so much information in there, right? And we can create Laura for image model. Okay? And obviously you can spin that out into all kinds of things. Obviously the most obvious thing is illustrating the book, right? So, graphic novel, comics, art books, concept art. Okay. And then you can think about the formatting as well, because the thing is, most books will come in an A4 or A5. So obviously if this is A5, you might have image on one side and then story on the other. Or you might go for the A4 and have an even bigger image. Yeah? With the story. And you might have it the other way around. It doesn't matter. It's a subjective decision which side you put the text on. I think actually it's the other way. Usually you'd put the image on this side. I've done it the other way around for some reason, but it's up to you. Which way around you want to put that. The other way of doing it, of course, is you have A5, but you only do like the center pages. So like, say you've got like a 100 or 200 pages, and then like the middle 20 is just art. Do you know what I'm saying? So like if you look at it like that, you know, it's like story, it's all just text, black and white, and then you get to the middle, full color, you know, full color, like centerfold. Like the centerfold would be a double wide, you know what I mean? So anyway, loads of stuff you can do, and it all kind of spins off itself, you know. You can train the agent with your Laura and the story, and you can say, read this page and turn it into a prompt that works with my style Laura. And as long as they're all like loosely based in the same thing, it'll work. And we've shown this as well. We've shown this working. Okay, so we've got our tower thing. So I'm actually going to save it at this point, because I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want to have to do that again. So I'll go back, get the tower, and I will compress that to OG tower bucket OG, because it's going to change, right? And I will actually take it out of this repo entirely, so I can't overwrite it or do anything silly with it. All right, so let's take a look at the last page prompt. Yes, because we're doing well on time. Man, I don't want to stop. But it's coffee time. I think we'll do a hot chocolate instead of a coffee, as it is 10 p.m. We're so close to writing the book now, we're 2 prompts away. 2 prompts away. So, just 2 prompts to go. I'm not going to quit now. And hey, if you don't stop for coffee every hour, you can work even quicker than I can. Right. At the risk of the increased risk of diabetes, I'm going for sugar over caffeine. I hope I'm not wrong. It's actually a tough life decision. Sugar So, glad you could all join us. Coffee time's something that happens every hour. It's a good idea to get a drink, visit the bathroom. We're not going to be on for that long tonight, I don't think. It could be though. You never really know. I finish when we're finished, so. It's important to stay hydrated. Important to stay hydrated, boys. You can't be staring at the screen with dry eyes. Gotta keep those eyes squidgy. Right, we are back. But we're still not back on screen. Let's put a different hat on. Yo. Oh no, maybe not. Okay. I swear, my eyes are going funny. Alright. We're back. So, this is the prompt. Now, unfortunately, it's been heavily customized. So what I need to do is just get rid of all that, because that was me dosing up the page. This is actually what it looks like from scratch. So the first thing we're going to have to do is, like, you know, change this. So that is actually tower slash, what the? Okay, we good? There we go. Tower law book, right? Not quite the right, it's close enough. And then tower projects instructions, it should be, yeah. Tower project instructions and tower. So you see why I keep the naming simple, right? It's so I can come in and just change the prompts like this. So we save that. So using the contents of tower, we can create the final page of a story, which is the end of a hero's journey. Pay attention to the tower project instructions.txt. And by the way, every time you see me use Hero's Journey, we have a list of the last 100 years of successful story formats, and the LLMs know what every single one of them is. Examples include Save the Cat. Examples include, like I said, 100 years. It's in a document in the narrative spittoon. If I go into, I think, prompts, there's an MD file. Story types chronology. Check it out. Gustav Freytag's Pyramid. Vladimir Prop's 31 narrative functions. Lejos Egri. I don't even know how to say some of these guys, okay? Kurt Vonnegut's Story Shapes. Yeah. Joseph Campbell, Hero's Journey. This is the one that's the most well understood. And I use that one all the time in demo, but as you see, there are many of them. Dan Harmon's in here somewhere. Where is he? Dan Harmon's Story Circle is there too. Okay. So like I said, you can use you would just change Dan, you would say Dan Harmon's Story Circle in place of Hero's Journey, and it'll do it in reverse. So pay attention. It's like a skeleton of a plot, which is then customized by your input. So pay attention to the thing regarding immediate world and characters for lore reference, deeper information, wider universe description. Good. Okay, so what do we even want to happen in this story? So the final page. Should we kill all of them? No one survives. No, we can't do that. It's supposed to be funny. Okay. We can describe the final page and the events which had transpired. I don't even need to say all of that. Okay. Wizarding. There isn't even a wizarding guild. Okay. Let's see. Our adventurers have been tasked with retrieving a stolen artifact from a feared sorcerer's tower. I can spell sorcerer. Sorcerer. This is a satire. I just say it like that. This is a satire. This is funny. We can be... Do you know how I say we can do this, we can do that? It's like, we can be funny. It's like, is that how we have to command him? It would be fun. Do you know what? It would be funny if that's how it was. Okay, so we can be funny. However, not all characters should be funny all the time. Refer to the Ghost Writer's Guidance. I forget how it was saying. How do you spell that one? Ghost writing. Oh crap. Writing style. Dot what? MD? Close enough. So, do I want to control the plot? The party will advance up the tower. No, wait, even better. We'll arrive at the tower. Arrive at the tower. Yes. We can introduce the party of adventurers as they journey to the tower. Okay. What just happened? I just pressed enter and it like deleted everything. Alright. Once the party arrives... Oh no, we're not going to say that. No. Okay. We can develop the characters as we progress through the various dangers and silliness. I'm not going to say silliness, I want to play it straight. We can develop the characters as we progress through the various dangers each level presents. Okay. Aha. Each level is guarded by an eccentric familiar. Say each level, eccentric familiar or lieutenant. Oh my god. In the sorcerer's entourage. Can I get a spell check? Oh man. Lieutenant. I got there in the end. Lieutenant, if you prefer it that way. If you're that way inclined. Entourage. Okay. A key element is that the sorcerer will be inside a sensory deprivation chamber during an eclipse. Okay. This is a small window of opportunity that may allow the retrieval of the artifact. Okay. The eclipse and its onset is an obvious ticking clock throughout the latter part of the story. Now, we haven't really introduced any challenges or anything. but I'm hoping that my reference to the ghostwriting style will keep it humorous, because I don't want it to be like ha ha ha, everyone's cracking jokes. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to just be a little bit silly when you read it. That's what I'm looking for. But I can't ask for that because he'll go too far. So let's see if we can get the last page written. I will say we can create the final page of a story, which we can name page 5 dot text. There we go. We are so close now, guys. So I have to architect the prompts a little bit. But the fact that you can is nice, because if you couldn't, you wouldn't be able to make it all custom to any story. It would only be good for like one story, you know? Like, because that's the thing. I'm trying to make it like open, so you add all of this stuff in the middle. And that makes it like your story, not my story, yeah? All of this stuff here is your story, not my story, you see? And like I said, the big thing about this, you would have seen lots of people train AI writing models and all that stuff. But this is the difference. If you fire a bow and arrow and you shoot an arrow, the arrow starts to drop. So you need to pull harder and harder and harder to get longer distance, okay? When you're predicting a story forwards, you are shooting like an arrow, and eventually it's going to hit the ground, okay? Because it's just going to run out and collapse. That's what happens. But if you only have to shoot at a target 10 meters in front of you, and then we put a target where you're standing and you go 10 meters back again, you hit, you know what I mean? There's no drop. It was only 10 meters. So that's what we're doing. We're breaking the story up into segments, and then we're going backwards from the start. It knows, it's really good at predicting what came next. So we tell it what came next. So it already knows what came before that, because it's a prediction engine. So we're inverting the prediction engine. That's why this works so well. We don't try to take massive bites. We just make a little bridge to a pillar, and then make another little bridge to a pillar, and another little bridge to a pillar. You do it like that, you can make a bridge for hundreds of miles. Whereas you do it the other way, and it starts to get a little bit crazy, doesn't it? Like the wind will blow it down, yeah? So, that's what we've done. Just in case you missed that part, because I must admit, the whole time we've been doing this, I didn't mention it once. So we're going to close this off. We're going to go plan mode. We're going to throw our new prompts in here. We're just going to make sure that these are actually correct, because I may have typed them wrong. There we go, because it'll still look like it works, but it might not actually be correct, like this one here, look. See, that's not correct. I just want to make sure that's right. Okay. So I think that's all linked. So we'll give it a go. We'll let it plan. And remember, every time we do the plan, before we press act, we can type a bunch of extra stuff. So I could be like, I don't like the fact that the orc is in charge. You know, you can change it all up. This is the point you do it. We're still in the baking section, right? We're not even baking yet. We're still like mixing up the ingredients in a bowl. That's what we're doing right now. You know, do you want raisins? Put them in now. See, look at this, look at this. He's asking me questions. This is brilliant. Okay. Wait a minute. How do you not know that? Okay, so for some reason he's been lazy and he hasn't actually read any of my... I put it in there, didn't I? Didn't I say project instructions in there? Yeah, maybe he just decided not to. Alright, alright. He wants to know, so I'll give him the answers, okay? So, 1. Who are our main characters? 1. Our main characters are defined inside. Shouldn't have to do this. It should be all in the project instructions, but I think we caught him being lazy. But luckily, we already have written all of this. So, 2. It might be that there's a problem with the path and he doesn't... Ooh, it might be I have to restart VS Code because they're also new files. And they're not being tracked yet. That does happen. Let me just... Do you know what? I'm just going to bail out. What I was about to do was just name everything. I was just going to name everything. But clearly, it didn't read it. So what I'm going to do instead, because I think this is a tracking thing, and my workaround for this is just copy the prompt, close the folder, and then open the folder again. And now all the files are tracked. And look, there's probably a way. You probably just like right-click the file, but I can't. Look, I'm sure there's a way to do it. If all I have to do is close and open, I don't care. that's just being real. So let me just see here. Ghostwriting style at ghostwriting style. Yes. Okay. Wait a minute. This isn't. What the hell? This isn't even the full paste. Just a sec. That's better. Right. Yes. 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 And that one is actually correct. Okay. Let's update this. Save. All right. And let's try it again. This time maybe he'll actually read it. See, look, you can see contents of tower. Characters is there, yeah. He's reading it. Okay, loads of special abilities. Yeah, he's reading it. Oh, look. This is all the stuff I just gave him in the prompt. 44,000 tokens in the first prompt. So let's see, have you figured it out? Have you figured it out yet? Okay. There's a rich world book. The characters defined here. What's happened in the previous pages, which I don't have. Look at this poor guy. There's information about magic systems, damage formulae, and more to create the final page of the story. I need to understand 1. What happened in the previous pages, which I don't have. 2. How to wrap up the story satisfactorily. 3. How to incorporate all the required elements. Eclipsing, sensory deprivation chamber, stolen artifact. 4. How to write in the satirical style outline. I should ask the user for clarification. I should understand a few things. I've given him quite a tough one. Normally I tell him, this just happened. There is the end of everyone's happy. They've won. They got the thing, right? But I didn't do that this time. This time I've given him a little bit more loose. I've given him some more freedom. I should understand a few things about the story structure in previous pages. Looking at the materials. Excellent. Yeah, you got it all. So I understand key elements. So before proceeding, could you clarify? Do these pages exist? 1. No. 2. What specific tower level should the page cover? At the pinnacle where the artifact is kept. The artifact is held on the 7th level. The vault. Okay. Has the party already encountered in 3? Yes. They have defeated 3 familiars in previous pages. You have total freedom to name them in a... to name them, yeah. Just leave it at that. Don't give them any more. How would you like me to conclude the story? Success! Because it's a funny story. Success! From a certain point of view. Alright, let's let him figure that out. I should have told him we're writing the story backwards, because then he would have been like, oh, now I understand. Because if you tell him, he does understand. I'm hoping this will be a nice little combo. Okay. So like I said, we did Richie Henderson Sanderson last time, and that worked really nice. So places our adventurers at the 7th level vault for the climax. References previous victories over 3 familiars, which I'll name and characterize. Remember, it gets inverted to write the book, so that's what we want. features the sorcery in a deprivation chamber during the eclipse, concludes with success from a certain point of view, suggesting an ironic or unexpected outcome. I'll use the characters, satirical style in the ghostwriting, and incorporate world building elements from the lore books and technical documents. Okay, success from a certain point of view. Does this sound good? My approach will feature all 6 adventurers maintaining their personalities and speech patterns, the satirical style described with soft specific rhythm, tone shifts and comedic techniques, a satisfying culmination that doesn't require having read previous pages. Shh, they don't need to know that. A climactic artifact retrieval that takes advantage, because remember, it's actually a chapter, not a page. That's the thing, we're playing a little bit of a bait and switch, because the AI thinks we're writing pages, but the pages are like 5 pages long. So no, they're chapters, not pages. But if we say chapters, he'll obsess over that. Pages is a separate file, so it's easy to work on each bit a bit at a time. Again, stops your window from getting crazy out of control. Okay, an ending that provides closure. It sounds good to me. Like I said, you want to put the raisins in now, before you click act, okay? Because you can't shove raisins in a cake after you've baked it. Same thing. Get it in the recipe, get it in the mix, stir it up, and then make the cake. Don't... I still need to make that video where I'm just throwing raisins at a cake. I still need to do it. Do you write stories like this? Or do you write stories like this, and then you got like just raisins being put into the mix while you're stirring it up, you know, like. Should you not say to the AI buckets instead of pages? Well, the bucket is just me using a colloquial term for the collection of narrative files. That's what the bucket here is. It's because this could change. It contains it's just a collection of information. It can be any file name, really. I think naming them what they are makes sense, because the AI doesn't have to think too hard. It's like, I'm looking for world information, I'll check world.txt. It's smart enough to do that on its own. Oh wow, there's a character called Grok, who is a something mathematician. Isn't that funny? But yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Dragon. I just see you explaining to the AI pages are chapters and not pages. No, I don't actually tell him that. It's a secret. I'm just telling you guys. I'm sure you guys all know, though. So yeah, like I said, stairs. There we go. Tower Raiders, final ascent, a success of sorts. So now we've written page 5, what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder called Story. And that's not going to be in the tower folder, because that's confusing. I'm going to put it outside, and we're going to put page 5 in Story, and now we're 1 prompt away from finishing the book. Isn't that crazy? So you do all this work and you're like 50%. You get the last page, you're at 90%. You get once we get this prompt done, it's done. It's over. We have the high ground. So let's have a look at this, because this is totally wrong. Oh mate, there's loads of stuff in here I need to get rid of. Right, okay, get rid of that. Go. Okay, so we've got rid of most of the content here that's got anything to do with it. So I just need to update this to say tower, and then copy that to a bunch. It's still going to be wrong when we go to the next step, but it's fine. It's fine. That, and like that, and like that. And then we want to do this is actually tower as well. Tower there. Page 4, page 5. Prod chat tower. Okay, I think it's updated. Sometimes I will add a bit here, you know, so I'll be like, oh, in this story all this stuff's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna do that. Maintain the satirical style by adhering to the guidelines defined inside ghostwriting. I just need to double. I'm going to double. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to double it up. I'm going to add that there because I think the most important thing for this one is to make sure he doesn't forget that it's funny. Because that's what happens. You know what I mean? The attention window slides forward and he just forgets that we're trying to be funny. We're trying to be funny right now. He's like, oh, I forgot. So, we've written our prompt. It's probably going to need an updating. So let's just make sure these links are correct. So yeah, they're all wrong. What's that? All I got to... The quickest way I know is delete the last character and it will give you the closest thing. That's why I write them to be roughly the same. Now, Oh, no. That's cool. It's loaded. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be like, I couldn't find it. Grim. That was grim. At Tower Dash Project Instructions. There we go. Tower Law Book, Tower Instructions, Ghostwriting Style. Step through the 6 pages. Last check. Alright, so I'm going to read this prompt out just for the benefit of anybody that is new. I know most of you are regulars at this point, but here we go. We can use the project instructions, Tower Project Instructions, to write a story in reverse by guessing what happened in the scene. We will adhere to the project instructions when speculating, writing a single page at a time. We will define the process methodology for this task in planning mode, then I will supply the final page of the story, even though actually it's right here. So hang on a minute. Let's just change that, actually. We will then follow the project instructions while we read the story, page 5. Understand the instructions. Write page 4, which aims to tell the story of how we reach page 5. Use the data linked in the project's instructions to inform the story content. Repeat the instruction for each page until you reach 0, which will be the start of the story. As you step through the pages, use the hero's journey in reverse, averaged over the 6 pages, to introduce elements to the story as you write each page. Maintain the satirical style by adhering to the guidelines defined inside ghostwriting style. Pay attention to the project instructions regarding immediate world and characters. For lore reference, please refer to the Tower Law Book for deeper information, wider universe. Descriptions, put it in plan mode. And start a new task. All right. Right. Oh, they're trying to get the Orb of Eclipse. No, the Orb of Astounding Revelations. Wait, what? Oh no, spoilers. Don't spoil the story. Okay, so that was a pretty good ending. If anybody else read fast and saw the breakdown of the final page... yeah. Okay. That's actually pretty good. The ending's not bad. So what are you doing now? I never said run. Oh. Oh, okay. I haven't finished. Okay, so here we go. So he's already written that. Page 5, page 4, page 3, page 2. We've got our characters, satirical style, rhythmic architecture, tonal modulation, smile construction, comparisons that start... Oh, simile. Smile. I'm going blind. Rule of cosmic threes. Escalating absurdity. Normal, unusually, completely disconnected. Anti-climax engineering. Elaborate setups with deliberately underwhelming conclusions. Oh no. Oh no. Continuity and backward foreshadowing. Yeah. Each page will directly lead into the events we know happen next, including backward foreshadowing, hints about events that happened earlier but appear in later pages. Maintain consistency with established details. She's a chrono-librarian. Prismatica. I'm going to leave these names in. I'm not going to do what I normally do, which is I'm just going to leave them in because I want to show what the system can do. So it's not about me for this one. Gradually reveal information about the sought-after orb of astounding revelations. What's this? Sir Puffington 3. Epic. Okay, the Chrono Librarian, Lady Prisma. Oh, they're the bad guys. They're the bosses for each level. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's go. We're 90 minutes in. The book starts now. Here we go. It's crazy, actually, when you think about it. The funniest, like the most fun part for me is that whenever I write a book, I already know what already happened because I wrote it. And it's kind of like when you get to the editing stage, you're like really getting deep into the weeds of what happened, right? And then you're just trying to get to the end of the book, and then you're like reading through it again and again and again and again. And the thing is that with this technique, it's more like you simulate a universe. It's more like you've designed a video game with a load of NPCs, and then you've designed a world, and you've come up with all this lore, and you know the behaviors of the characters and everything, the way they speak, all of that, their hopes and dreams. It's all in there, like a crazy version of The Sims. You know what I mean? Just like a crazy, jacked version of The Sims, and then you get to put a camera wherever you want and direct it, puppeteer them, put them in situations, tell, oh, I want this to happen and this to happen and this to happen. Then you let it play out, right? And so it's more of an emergent story, which is a recording of a simulated universe that you've orchestrated. So it's not actually just generating it out of nothing. It's kind of going, well, if there was a man in a butcher's and he works on Monday to Friday, and I walk past that butcher's, the butcher's going to be in there butchering, right? So it's like you've set the rules of how you've set the stage, and then the curtains draw, and you're directing a play. But the difference is, it's like a fully simulated universe with all these NPCs, like I say, interacting, and they have these emergent conversations that you didn't write. But that's a bit like when an actor does an ad-lib in a movie. It wasn't actually in the book, but it made the scene iconic. And it's because the characters were well executed, right? And so anyway, I just had this thought. I was like, if we define, because I did something called the Universe Engine way back in Claude projects, and this is a similar idea. The idea is that you are simulating a universe, and then you're recording it in text. You're like, these are all these characters, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. This happened. How did that happen? And it's really good at predicting what happened next. So you're exploiting the forward prediction by inverting it. You're basically saying, hey, you know what happened before this scene. So that's what we're actually playing with here. Now, I must admit, I thought this was going to take me a little bit longer. I thought it would take a little bit longer, but because the last two prompts are quite, they're quite important. You can't take liberties with these. Like, this prompt is deliberately only reading from the page data. But the last page prompt, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, if you know your characters and you know your world, you can just type out the last page. It's not a big deal, right? You don't even need to write that much. You just need to end the story. So you have an idea for a story in your head that involves all your characters in your world. You type out how it ended. Just the last page. The end. put it in the system, boom. Oh, and in case you were wondering, you can actually have it be like a 30-page story, but 6 pages will be like a 200-page book. 6 is actually like huge, but by the time we finished anyway, because there's a couple of other steps. Once the book's written, I've got an agent that will polish every page like in one go. So, you know, once the narrative bucket is created, it's 2 prompts to the first book. If you then do a prompt to summarize the book, you can then evolve the narrative bucket. So you update all the characters in the world after the events of book 1. That's the best way to do it. But the thing is, and because then when you start writing book 2, it is a true sequel. It's not just starting from the exact same point. Yeah. Even though it's got a different ending and it is a different story, it had the same starting point. Which is fine if that's what you want, but usually, you know, after a bunch of characters have had an arc, they will have changed. So you have to evolve the bucket. But it's very easy to do. You just go summarize the story into a file and then use that file to update my, you know, my tower folder. And it will literally just go, oh, the character's changed. Oh, this has changed. Oh, this has changed. Oh, changed it. Super easy to do. And then you're ready to write the next book, like I say. It's not even difficult. It's like I say, it took me months to come up with this system. And I won't be surprised if you start seeing, because this, look, I gave it away ages ago. So you're going to start seeing it pop up. But the essential, like the crux of it is, it writes books backwards, page by page. That's all. And it's totally customizable. So yeah, we're nearly finished, by the way. I might do the other. Do you know what? Maybe we should do. Maybe I should show you. I've got time. Instead of finishing early, I think we're going to do the evolve. Yeah, we'll do the evolution, and then we'll start book 2. Because honestly, you'd be surprised. Like the first hour was the hard part. This is now easy mode from here, because we already did all the work. It's kind of like, you know. I don't know. I'm not going to make another tired analogy. It's getting late. But yeah, by the time it's finished this page, what I'll do is I will zip up the pages into a zip called book 1, delete them. Well, in fact, I won't delete them yet. I'll zip them up into book 1, and then I'll run my supplement prompt and my evolve prompt. So let's just get those ready real quick. Outpost 3, plan, update bucket, we're going to need that one, and where's the other one, the supplement. Uh-oh, did I just break it by copying a file in? Did it truncate? Wait, what? What? Wait a minute. What? The Tower of Zarath Magus occasionally Wait, what? The Tower of Zarath Magus, the occasionally reasonable, stood against the afternoon sky like an architectural middle finger directed at the conventional building codes. What am I reading? That was the last page of the book. That's the last line. Zarath Magus, the occasionally reasonable. What a name. I should change my name on Twitter. That's Pratchett right there. It is, yeah. It's so nice to see. Oh, man. Okay, right. Okay. It's easy to get carried away. Like, this is why you have to just trust the process, get it all done, and then enjoy it when you've done all the steps. So, like, technically right now, we've done all the steps. So, what I generally do is this. I go, rename, book 1, Okay, because we can make another story folder that is empty, yeah? And then we can repeat the process with the new end page and so on. But this is the next bit. This is the bit that... so let's reveal in File Explorer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip that up as book 1. Right? Good. I'm not going to delete them yet, which I will do before I write book 2, because they will infect. The fact they exist, there's a chance they can infect the generation, right? So it's, you know, any file that you have, it could be loaded into memory in the Win context. So when it comes to that fact, the zip file won't be. So I will delete those files, but we need them. We need them. We need them to write the supplement. So let me just get the supplement prompt. The supplement prompt is in OG prompts, which is in the default repo for Spitooning version. So here we have it. Supplementary. Please summarize the events that take place in, and it's not story, it's book 1. It would have been story if we hadn't moved it. Okay. Creating story supplement 001.md, which will be used to update narrative bucket. Tower. Okay, add the new file to tower/tower. There we go. That's all it is. This one's super easy. So let's go to the thing and new. I want to keep it clean. Okay, I want to make sure book 1, yes. Tower, yes. Project instructions. Oh. Looks like we've got to go all the way back. There. Okay. Obviously the slash was the wrong way around. Yeah. There we go. Go. So this is probably the most... This is like the groundbreaking freaking... This is the thing. This was the breakthrough that took it from being okay, we can write a book, to now you can write a trilogy in a day. Yeah? And like I said, you know, well, you want to turn your trilogy into a screenplay, you want to turn it into a stage script, you want to turn it into this, that, the other. That's all just another agent. You just feed the data to the agent and it'll go ahead and do all of that for you. We've done it already with different stories in the past. It's kind of all so interchangeable. It's kind of like, literally, this is like the sorcerer's hand wave right now. So he's going to help me do X. He's going to read the thing. He's going to do the stuff. He's going to ask me questions. Nope. Create a summary. Structure it like a chronicle that would fit in the lore documents. Oh my god, that's great. All right, go on then. I thought he was just going to make like notes of what happened in the story, but he's going to actually do it like in character, I guess. See, that's almost an idea of itself, you know. Say you write like a fantasy story and there's like some character who runs a tavern. You could probably write a whole book about that guy in his tavern with the same book bucket. Be like, oh, now we've finished Lord of the Rings. Let's tell a story about the guy that owned the inn that the... You know, halfway through the story, the hobbits are going to come in and stay the night. But other than that, it's just going to be a normal story about a guy running a tavern. You could do all that. You could totally do all that. Because you're essentially defining the simulation and then determining what's taking place. The difference is that everything reacts as it should do according to the programming. That's why I'm saying it's a little bit more like... It's a little bit more like a machinima. It's funny. And that's why I say it's like emergent story writing, because in a way I like program the characters and then I let them all go nuts. And then I just record what happens. So I don't really know what's going to happen. Like there's a king and there's a knight and there's an evil wizard, but I don't really... Yeah. And this is why sometimes I'm like, look, you can tell it exactly what's going to happen, or... You can let Claude take the wheel, or whichever AI that you are using. I get excellent results with Claude 3.7 Sonnet on thinking, and I do use 2024 thinking tokens. Sometimes I use 4048, but it's obviously going to get more expensive. But that's about it, really. So anyway, when we update the bucket, it's going to intelligently take all the information in this supplement, and then it's going to evolve any file which it feels is like relevant or outdated. It's very good. It's taking advantage of the whole self-documentation in script projects. So often when I'd be writing code, I'd be like, update my document, you know, update my readme. I've just changed a bunch of code, update the readme, and it would just do it, and it would get it right every time. And I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute, what if I'm writing a story? And I'm like, update the rest of the book. And you'd be surprised how good it was with a very little amount of information. So I started enriching and reinforcing with the retrieval augmented generation, which you don't need graph and all LangChain. You don't need, you can do it with text files and MD, JSON. As a matter of fact, Claude loves XML. For some reason, he loves XML structure. That's how I was able to make all my agents like 6 months before they were even called agents. So, like, oh, it's an LLM that does a thing. It's pre-programmed to do a thing. Okay. Do. It's done it. So now we have our story supplement. There it is. Breaks down the events of the first book. Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is do the update bucket. So update bucket again is pretty lightweight because I didn't want to be wasting time. Okay. Like by this point, I'm like, look, I've already done all of the work. At this point, I just want to use the tool. So I'd have a copy paste template where I just change that and that to match the bucket. Right now we're using the tower bucket. So tower. That's it. Super simple. Again, new prompt, new context window. Let's go. Last one was only 37 cents. 37 cents to summarize the whole book. Isn't that crazy? So do that. Tower lore book. That's correct. All right. And let me just update this one as well. Save that and go. So now this one can take a little minute. Usually what happens, because there's a lot of files. I should have closed a load of this stuff. I think I'll get away with it, but I should have. Hang on a minute. No. I messed up. I got to do that prompt again. I forgot to mention the supplement. Current state of our developed lore book. No. Okay. So, following the events of the first book, and then I'll go supplement. That's weird. What the hell is book 1 supplementary? Did it create another file? Hold up. Supplementary. What? Oh yeah, that's one of my prompts. Shouldn't be in there, should be in here. That's why it's confusing me. Okay, so we've already done that one. Supplementary. Right, so this is wrong. I forgot to mention that. It's written from the wrong point of view for a different project. So following the events of the first book, Story Supplement 01, the first book, comma, summarized in Story Supplement 01, we can update the files inside Tower to reflect the current state of our world, characters and speaking style. Okay. Along with any other outdated information. This will evolve. This will evolve the narrative buckets for this story theme and its characters following the conclusion of book 1. I'm just double dutching myself there because I don't. There, that's better. We can run that. Dragon says, I was using Klein the other day and it was being a spaz, not writing to files in the directory. Did I do something stupid? No, you didn't. Right now, there are two ways that the LLM can use tools. One is replace in file, and another is replace in file and write to file. If you do write to file, he has to write the entire file out from scratch. So say you had a 10,000 word document and you wanted to change every letter G to an F, it's going to actually rewrite the entire thing. Every character will be rewritten by the LLM. However, if you do replace in file and you only have to change one line, it will only change that line. Sometimes I think the reason that it happens is because the terminal you use has to be one that supports Klein, and there are many options for the terminal. So if you don't use, I can't remember which one the right one is. I use PowerShell, and I've had to do an elevation policy to get it so that it can execute things and actually read the output. I'll probably do a short on it at some point. It's just, you know, as soon as you do a guide on things, and they change how it's done. So sometimes I don't do the guide because I'm like, well, it might not actually be worth making a guide for if they just change it in an update tomorrow, you know. But yeah, it's kind of like an issue. I found a workaround for that, and the workaround for that is to open the file that you expect it to edit in the tab. And I found that he's 10 times more likely not to fail with write to file, and he will actually use replace in line or whatever. So in other words, he'll only edit that bit, not rewrite the whole thing. So you only pay tokens for 3 words instead of all of them. You see what I mean? It was making stuff and saying I wrote it, and I was like, where? Yeah, sometimes they can be a little squirrely, but you just got to think that you're dealing with a high IQ baby, really. It's not even a toddler. How old is AI? 3 years old? If that. Some of these models are like 6 months old. So, it's crazy, really. So, following the events of the first book, blah, 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 blah. First, I'll need to understand what happened in book 1. Oh, my God. Okay. 1. You can read. He didn't read it. You can read. Huh? Why are there 2? Okay, now I can see why he's getting confused. It says here, Story Supplement 1, Story Supplement 1. Why? Why are there 2? I think they're identical. Let me check. 6,776. Yeah, they're identical, so I'll delete this one. Yes. He's getting confused, this Claude. He's like, I don't understand. Okay, go. He'd be like, you just deleted the file I was reading. Why you do this? Oh, wow, look at this. Broderick Ironheart, human warrior with conversational relationship with his weapon, Skull Crusher. I can't wait to learn more about that guy. A barrel-chested human with a perpetually sunburned face. And ginger hair. Oh. That's too relatable. No one is listening. What? Hang on. What? Relentlessly optimistic but not naive. Believes in fundamental goodness. What? Some of the stuff is crazy. What's all this recursive loop stuff coming in? We're not doing the temporal pincer tonight. What the hell? Okay, so we've updated the characters. Now let's update the world. Do you know what the best thing about AI is? I'll show you. Basically, I'm going to go check the plumbing, and I'm not going to be stopping. Watch this. I'll be right back. It'll still keep working though. Who knows how long for? Oh, good. Wait. No, he ain't finished yet. So anyway, yeah, he's going to keep updating it, and I think you can see that, you know, my time would be best served right now to just start typing out what I want to happen next. Do you know what I mean? So obviously you want to do book 2, it's going to be some kind of revenge, right? The Sorcerer's Revenge, he wants his orb back or something, right? So if I just say... So I'll just say we can write the final page for the book, for book 2, for the sequel to book 1. Book 1. The final page for the sequel to book 1 without giving him anything about the sequel. Love it. The Sorcerer's Revenge. In fact, I'll just call it Sorcerer's Revenge, and then there can be more than one. Okay. So 3 sorcerers have combined forces with the with the sorcerer. What's it? Sorcerer from book 1. Mercenaries are hired to capture and bring in the adventurers group. Okay. One of the band is Mist and Tails the mercenaries. Okay. Stakes are high as we see our heroes entering a torture dungeon. Oh no. The last member of the group infiltrates, releases, and the group performs a daring escape. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Sounds good. Okay. The adventure culminates in the falling of one of the towers. The falling. Oh yeah, it fell over. The falling of one of the towers. The adventurers walk into the sunset, and we end the second book. Okay. I'm just making notes, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's not going to be written like this in the actual prompt, you know? I just think stakes are gay. Stakes are gay. Stakes are higgy. Higgy. No, we don't need to save it. Oi! I need that screen. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty solid second book. I think that was pretty solid. Come on. Trying to evolve here. And remember, we saved the lore book way back. We saved the lore book before we even wrote the first book. So I'll use that when I want to do my Uno upscaling. And in case you missed any of that, because there's a fair chance you did, in case you missed that, I'll quickly show you that part. So I have a prompt on the narrative spittoon called Uno. This is currently customized for the Empire storyline, which I'm writing. And the thing is that all it really is this prompt, which you copy and paste in full. You copy the entire MD document into the set project instructions. And you copy all of your narrative bucket data, all the files, everything. The lore book, characters, world, everything. And then if you put each page in here and let it run with the prompt I recommend, which is... The prompt is, please use Uno and think deeply about enhancing a single chapter from my book. Use the Empire project instructions. That would be Tower in this case. For world character speech, when expanding descriptions or lore, use the Tower lore book, or whatever yours is. For accurate details, without revealing secret knowledge or details to soldiers, there's soldiers in Empire, so it would be the adventurers should not know from their perspective beyond character experience. Adhere to Uno processing guidelines. And if you don't know what Uno is, it does contextual assessment, enhancement evaluation, environmental expansion, action scene enrichment, golden shadow resurrection. So for example here, the relationship between Sergeant Coppergear and Count Zambali seems to have history worth exploring. Also, Private Cogsworth's sacrifice could be given more emotional weight. Because yeah, this is the final page of a 3-book story, and Cogsworth gets it. He takes one to the face for the team. And yeah, ambush and Cogsworth fall. See, Golden Shadow, private thoughts and actions. This was crazy. That was crazy. What it did when the soldier got his head blown off, the moment. He's like, there's a moment where he looks at the guy, he'd saved the other guy's life, and they look at each other and they both know that there's no time, and then he gets his head blown out. Like, they're looking directly at each other. And it's like, I was there reading it like, oh my God. Whoa. That was cool. I didn't expect that, because that's like a little detail. That's a real attention to detail, which you don't just get that. In fact, I wonder if I can find it. No, I don't want to... Well, who cares? I'm not, like, This isn't something I'm trying to go crazy over. Can I see it? Defensive formation, tactical systems, minutes, price ice calculator. Where is it? Air in the chamber, super cool, blah, 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 blah. I think he died before then. Attention. She's been busy. I can't find it. See, there's so much story. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely on that page somewhere. They were talking about it. But yeah, you can make your own Uno project in Claude, easy. It's just a system prompt, so ChatGPT, you can put this into ChatGPT, it'll work. Maybe not 100% as well, because I don't know if you can do all of this stuff, but I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can do project artifacts now. I'm sure there's a ChatGPT projects feature that they added because this was so good, you know. Right. But like I said, it works in Klein, so you can do it all in here. The reason that I do the upscaling in here is because it's this you pay per token, right? No matter what, per token, all the way. With this, it's 30 quid a month, and then there's daily usage limits. So basically I'm not paying per usage. I can use it as much as I want to a point, and then I have to use it tomorrow. And what I found is that upscaling is the most expensive operation, so it's more price efficient to do the upscaling side in the chat and then, you know what I mean, do the other stuff in here, because upscaling is upscaling, you know. It does have like a whole bunch. Let me just break it down for you. So Golden Shadow identifies unresolved or undeveloped plot threads. Environmental expansion describes locations, time of day illumination, this sort of stuff. Also focuses on an insignificant object and provides exceptional detail. So it's just like little flair. Action scene, if there's action. Combat choreography, it's going to slow everything down. Prose smoothing, awkward phrasing, gets rid of that, throw it out. Stylistic consistency, repetition elimination. So if you're always saying concentric rings, which the LLMs love to say concentric rings all the time, okay, check. Search your AI writings. You know it to be true. And yeah, preservation rules, integration technique, expansion target is 200%. You can obviously change that if you want. You can edit this. It's just words. But words have power. Alright, looks like we finished. So what's he done then? So Broderick's glitter contamination, what? And tendency to regress when stressed. Lysandra's new interest in temporal manipulation. Thimbletack's enhanced tactical pessimism and contingency planning. Morgan phase. Expanded alchemical expertise and offensive applications, Grok's proven mathematical precision and new calculation tattoos, and Whisper's confirmed star-based intelligence and reflective abilities. I don't know what any of that is, guys. We just made it up. But now it's ready to write book 2, okay? And I want to show you exactly how easy that is. So funny. Let's write the last page. See, sometimes he actually writes the last page for us. Get rid of that, 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 get rid of that. And look, it's updated it. Right, awesome. Look, notable achievements. Okay. Get rid of that. Open up the files. Why is only update bucket? Oh, right, okay, I couldn't see it all. So what I want to do is do book 2. So I'm just going to duplicate this and call it book 2. Book 2, 6-page story. Okay. And obviously we need a last page prompt. So book 2, last page prompt. Okay. Now, I'm going to phone this one in because I've got limited time. It's 10 past 11 now. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the last page prompt first, and I'm going to use my scattered notes, which I just typed up while it was cooking. Yeah. So we'll copy this one. New thing, go here. So this is the final page for book 2, right? So Get rid of that. Introduce. No. That's all from the last thing. So, wait for it. Remember, it doesn't... Yeah. Boom. Sorcerer's Revenge. There we go. Just copy it in. Just copy your notes in. It's fine. Close that. Boom. Plan. And it's going to be... Is it going to call it page 5? Yep, it's going to call it page 5. Story is empty, so it might even put it in there for us. Who knows? Okay, so now I just got to run on this. I just got to change this up. In fact, I think this is universally written, so what that means is you don't really need to change anything for content-wise. It's just file names that have to be correct. Right, look at that. Tower Project / is the wrong way around. It still accepted it. Right, that should actually be the same. It's a bit strange. Strange that even worked the first time. Anyway. I'll follow the Adams Pratchett inspired satirical thing. Wait a minute, have we lost someone? Have we lost someone? I know there's supposed to be 3. We've done Adams Pratchett and we've somehow lost... Maybe it's just... Maybe he just didn't mention it. So, features 3 sorcerers who have combined forces with the sorcerer from Book 1. Shows mercenaries capturing most of our party. Has one party member escape. Places our heroes in a torture dungeon. Features the thing. Ends with the adventures walking into the sunset. Right, okay. Sounds good to me. So let's see what we actually get for the last page, because he might try to do the whole book on the last page. Let's see. The final gambit. Okay. Never trust a job that pays in advance. Oh, that's good. Oh dear, the sorcerers have got him. They can't make their escape on the last page. They should be making their escape on page 4. Ah, well. I suppose he'll just have to write about the previous things that happened. Yeah. Anyway. I suppose we better wrap up the comfy stuff while we're waiting for it to finish the writings. So let's restart Comfy UI. Properly. A proper restart. Yeah, we'll minimize that for a minute. Come on. That's more like it. Get that one up there. Right. Interesting. Managed to pick up a little bit of an outline on there. Oh, are we done? Okay. Skull Crusher thinks we should consider a vacation. He announced to no one in particular. For once, no one disagreed. Very pithy, I like it. Alright. So, page 5 is complete. We will put it in the story folder. We will then get our prompt for 6-page stories. I will copy it and and then I will close the prompt and I will open that, get into plan. I'm going to do it in the same thing though. Okay, this is a slight difference. Normally I'll make a new chat all the time. This time I'll keep it because look, we've already got 184,000 tokens and 68,000 in the context window, and it's all about the last page, right? So if I now say, well, what happened before that? It's actually going to be fine. That's going to work nicely. Okay. So tower, 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 tower. This is all written open. Like I said, it's open. It's not talking specifically about a book. It's, you know, or a particular page. It doesn't talk about any element. Everything here is just like, you know, follow the story, do the thing backwards, read the page, da-da-da-da. You've got extra stuff here, you've got extra stuff here, but apart from that, it's like, I really need to find out what this thing is. I keep trying to say holistic, or it's not, that's not the word. I keep coming up, over the next week or so, you're going to hear me struggle to try and come up with this one word that I can't, there's this word I can't place that escapes me. It basically means you're not tied to a platform, it's not specific. You can... Is it heuristic? No, it's not that either. God damn it. It's something like that. It's going to drive me mad. I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and go, whoa, and say the word. Anyway. Enough of that. Let's write book 2. I got 12 minutes. What do you reckon? We can get the sequel done inside 2 hours? Platformless, yeah, that's one of them. They call it, it's platform something. Platform something stick. Fuck. I can't remember. Agnostic, thank you, Dragon. Platform agnostic, thank you. My God, I've been trying to get that word for 3-4 days. It's platform agnostic. Yeah, it's not tied to anything. And that's the secret of the future proofing, because if you tie it to a specific model, you've got to rebuild it all when they make a new model, which is going to be like next week. So it has to be platform agnostic, the approach. Otherwise, you just got to redevelop it every time, redevelop it, right? And we don't want to get into development hell. We want to develop things in a way that benefit from the new model. Yeah, so when the models get better, the code gets better. You don't need to and then you're not over specializing for a specific platform either, and you've got more users. Yeah, platform agnostic AI design. It makes sense because Python's cross-platform, right? So why not? I appreciate it won't be Python forever, but yeah. Oh, look at it go. We're writing again, guys. The book's being written. Book 2, everyone. Oh, I'm just going to lean back. Sleeping gas. Everyone, and then he face planted directly. Oh my God. Every now and then I'm catching lines from this story. What the hell? Every now and then. Look, wait. This is when they get captured. Oh, man. But hang on a minute. If they get captured in chapter 4, what the hell are we going to do for the rest of the book? This is what I mean. I love it. A quadrumvirate of quantifiable quandaries. What? Professional courtesy. That was great. Collective bargaining. Okay. Tower Raiders. Middle Witch. The stars are terrible at metaphor, but excellent at foreshadowing. What? I wish I could see more of it. It's annoying. Like, they do this thing where you can only see, like, a quarter of the page or something. It's like, can I, hang on, can I do that? And then maybe I can go, like, all the way. I know if you scroll, it doesn't work. It can actually break it. If you, like, scroll and stuff and try to, like, read what's, yeah, it'll be like, oh, I truncated. Oh, it's because you're kind of fighting him a little bit. You got to, like, hands off and let him finish. Otherwise, he gets interrupted. Or at least that's what happened last time. So I've just learned to just hands off and just let it get on with it. Alright. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. We are closing in on the end. I decided to do a little bit of overtime tonight. And yeah, we got 2 new books written off the narrative bucket. I wanted to do a start to finish for narrative inversion to show everybody, you know, if anybody wants to, you know, 117, episode 117 of the live, we went from start to finish. We started with nothing and we ended with 2 books. And obviously I've shown you every part of the process now. All we have to do is summarize this book, evolve the story bucket again, and we're ready to write book 3. It's really that simple. It's 4 prompts in sequence. Prompt, 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 prompt. Now you got another book. It's really that simple. The hard part is putting together your dynamic rag, which of course can be generated and can be handwritten. I just spent the last 2 hours, 2.5 hours, don't know, going over it. I think, to be honest, the first hour we were doing Comfy UI tonight. So we did 9, 10, 11, 15. So yeah, we did 2 hours and 15 minutes just on explaining how the narrative inversion process works. The only thing I didn't show you was the unified narrative operator upscaling, but I did show you how to set it up and how to work it. So yeah. Yeah, I was lucky enough, Dragon, to read entire libraries when I was young, so I probably forgot more vocabulary than I'm going to learn at this point. Alright. I think the first hour we broke the GPU and Comfy. Sort of. In fact, I think that was one thing, one big reveal before I disappear. Alright, here it is. Right, so let's have a look at this, shall we? Text, video, text, my new node. Load image, straight in, straight out. Video text, font, okay, Empire. I'm just going to say video, video text, offset, padding, font size. Let's make it 150. Line spacing, letter spacing, color text. Hey, this is what I wanted to see. Come on then, show me the money. Ah. Okay, so first of all, no chromatic aberration. And second, F, with the outline color of black, outline width of 1, glow intensity 0.3, glow radius 0, turn the glow off. Alignment center, that's not, oh, alignment center but bottom center. Wow, look at all these. Oh, wow. Okay, so top center. Let's go. Dude, that's clean. That is clean. And you can jig it around any way you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, align left. And center left. Bottom center. It's down there. All right. Happy with that. I think we'll just push it. I think that's ready to go. Obviously, you go to... It'll take video as well. I haven't changed it, so that's why it's video text, not just text. But... it's pretty good. Pretty clean. All right. So it's not like you can click and drag it or anything, but... So yeah, I'm happy with that. We're going to have to do a DJ Z nodes big update. See, look at that. I got 3 minutes left and we're still pushing updates. Come on. I'm supposed to be winding things down. The fun just doesn't stop, guys. Upload, upload, upload. In here. In here. In here. Modified. 1, 2, 3. Go. Right, you'll be able to get it on a Git pull. Good luck with the Comfy Manager. They're probably still pushing an ancient version that I no longer, you know what I mean? I don't even have. But what I'll probably do is like tomorrow or, yeah, probably tomorrow, I'll push a GitHub, I'll Comfy Manager update. I'll push that. Yeah. All right. We got to page 0 yet? Oh, come on. We're so close. 28 minutes and it's finishing page 0. Oh, is that it? Is it finished? Hands up, pens down. 2.5 hours, 2 books. See, that's the thing. It's once you've written the story bucket, it's like a book an hour. Less. It's less than a book an hour. So, like, I could write an episode of Star Trek in the time it takes you to watch one. But they still make trash Star Trek shows. Isn't that crazy? I mean, look, they're getting better recently, but they've had a bad run these last few years. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So there it is. It's done. Seed capital. Market forces, professional curiosity, collective bargaining, professional courtesy, and the final gambit, where Thimbletack rescues his friends. But the escape causes the tower to collapse. I love it. Alright, so yeah, the new node worked perfectly. We've updated the DJZ node so you can update yours. Yes, I agree, Dragon. I'm not going to say it, but I agree exactly. Strange New World's good. The other thing, agree. So yeah. But yeah, on topic. Book's done. And you know what that means? What the? It means we're in read-only mode. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place.